Hello there, and welcome to this CSWatch J276 video where we are going to be looking at how we can improve CPU performance. And that's essentially everything we're going to be looking at. We're going to be looking at how we can make the CPU run faster. The first thing we're going to be looking at is clock speed. So clock speed is the number of instructions a processor core can carry out per second. When you buy a new PC, you not often see it advertised, for example, that it's got a 2.8 gigahertz processor. That means that processor is capable of running 2.8 billion instructions a second. Processors traditionally measured in hertz, but then they went to megahertz and now gigahertz, and they're just going to start getting bigger and bigger and bigger. If we can increase that clock speed, we can increase the amount of instructions a second that a CPU can perform. That can only be a good thing. CPUs can be something which is called overclocked, and what that means is changing the clock speed faster than what it's meant to be doing. So if you buy a processor which is 1.2 gigahertz, you can increase that clock speed. But if you do it incorrectly, the CPU will overheat, and this is bad. If the CPU overheats, the computer can crash. It can cause physical damage to a computer because you're trying to get it to process more and more instructions, which then generates more and more heat, which can cause damage. If you put in extra cooling, so for example putting some fans in, putting some water cooling in, putting some heat sinks in, that can help mitigate the extra heat which is generated from overclocking. If you just buy a normal bog standard PC and overclock the processor, it's more than likely not going to have the cooling in there to be able to handle what you want it to do. So overclocking can increase the clock speed, but you need to be careful with it. When you're looking at buying a PC, number of cores is again something that you can be looking at. If you've got a single core in a PC, you've got one core which is able to process data. A core in a PC processes data independently from other cores within the processor. So if you've got a quad-core processor, which is 4 cores, it can do 4 sets of instructions, 4 pieces of data independently. Most PCs these days come with 2 or 4 cores as standard. But the more cores you've got, the more instructions you can process. So if you've got a 4-core 1 gigahertz processor, in theory that will be processing at 4 gigahertz, which is 4 billion instructions a second. Much better than just a bog standard one. As we've looked at before, cache size is the data storage held within a CPU, fastest that you can get, faster than RAM. The larger the CPU cache, the more data, the more instructions, the more memory the CPU's got. That means it can load things up quicker, it can point to things quicker, it can find out information a hell of a lot easily, which is good. So to summarize, 3 main ways that you can improve CPU performance. You can overclock it and increase the clock speed, but again, watch out for overheating because overheating can be bad. Having multiple cores, so you have more than one set of instructions or data being processed at once, and then having a larger cache. The faster the CPU, the better the performance you'll get, but it will cost more money to be able to get because you're going to have to get more technology for the increasing clock speed, multiple cores, having a larger cache. You can then look at the different types of processor as well. So you can got Intel chips and AMD. Intel chips are generally better, but then also they're more expensive. I hope this video has been helpful for you. I hope you're happy now with how we can increase CPU performance, and I shall see you in another video. See you later.